Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. Today we're going to talk about the appearance panel and how to create some customized text here, which is a really fun experiment. And this is all editable, so you can type and change the font and everything's going to go along with it. So let's dive in here and learn this. I'm going to go ahead and click on the text tool, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm using Rockwell Extra Bold, but you can use any font that you want. I would just pick something bold, and let's type in fun times. There we go. So I got fun times typed in here, and I'm going to go ahead and do something weird at first. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my stroke and fill. So I have the text typed here, but literally nothing is actually applied to this. So what you're going to want is your appearance panel right here. If you don't see this, you just got to go up to Window and down here to Appearance, and wherever that pops up, we're going to go ahead and open that up and make it bigger. If you're having trouble seeing it, let's make it bigger because we're going to add a couple things here. So let's go ahead and add a new fill to this, and it's going to default to black. I'm going to actually make it white here, but since we're not going to be able to see it, let's make it like a light gray, or let's just go yellow to begin with here. Ooh, that's bold. There we go. We got the yellow. All right, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add another fill to this. So I'm going to go ahead and take this same fill that I have selected. I'm going to go right down to the plus, and I'm going to duplicate the selected item, and that's going to put another one in there. And let's go ahead and change that color. So let's make that like this one on here. I think this was this light blue, maybe right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. You can't really see it though because it's literally just a fill over top of a fill. It's like a layer. That's the cool thing about this panel, is you can rearrange those layers and drag them around and do some fun things. So let's go ahead and create that 3D effect that we have going on this. So I'm going to click on my second fill, and I'm going to hit the effects option down here. And I'm going to, in all these different effects that are possible here, I'm going to go ahead and go to the distort and transform, and I'm going to go ahead and do transform. So let's click on that, and this menu pops up here. And what I'm going to tell you here by default, I'm just going to go ahead and, even though I have it set to inches, I usually default to 1 pixel. So 1 px. I'm going to shift that, and you'll see it moves over 1 pixel. And then I'm going to do 1 px here, and that's going to also shift down 1 pixel. So that means that I have shifted that blue layer that I have right here down and to the right 1 pixel. Now, if you want to go the other way, you can add a negative to that, but you can see why I don't deal with inches, because it's very fractional right there. Now, what I want is I want a bunch of copies of this. So let's go ahead and just scroll up. And the more we add, the more 3D that text gets. So it's going to go further and further out the more you add to it. So I think in my sample one here, I had about 8 or 9 copies. So let's go ahead and leave that at 8, and we'll hit OK. And boom, I already have that cool effect on there. If I go back to this one and leave that as white, you're going to kind of see now I have that effect happening here. So let's go ahead and add another one. So I'm going to go ahead and add another fill. And actually, let's check, because I don't know if I had this fill on here. So let me see what I did on this one. Oh, I had 2 strokes on there. So let's do that. So let's click right here, and let's go ahead and add a stroke. So there's already a stroke up here. Let's add this black stroke to it first. So go ahead and add black. And if I start cranking this sucker up, you can see it gets really big. The problem is it's covering everything that I have right here. So let's go ahead and rearrange that. Let's put that under the white and under the blue, and I'm going to bring that all the way down here. Okay. You can also see it has those little spiky things going. You can fix that by clicking on the word stroke, and we can round those out, and that'll kind of get rid of that. So that works, but the problem is it's not lined up. Since I shifted this text down, let's go ahead and add an effect back to this as well. So I'm going to click that effects option again. I'm going to do the distort and transform. Let's do the transform, and again we're going to shift it 1 pixel, 1 px, and 1 px. There we go. And let's go ahead and add a couple copies. So we can add a couple copies there, and again, if we go to 8, that's going to balance that off and add that nice little effect there. So that's working. That's looking pretty good. And let's go ahead and duplicate that one more time. So if we grab one more copy, hit the plus symbol, and I'm going to click on this new one, and let's go ahead and make that red. and I'm just going to crank this up a couple more times. So click, click, click until you get it to a point. You can see that red is popping out there now, and that looks pretty cool. So I have gone ahead and duplicated what I did up in this one, and this is this whole appearance right here, which is pretty awesome. And now I've got editable text. So if I want to make this say something totally different, Art Lab, there we go. And I've got Art Lab, it's editable, and I can move this around and do whatever I want to it. You can also do fun things here like the effects, warp. I could curve this, do all sorts of fun things with this. So let's go ahead, final step here. I'm going to go back to my appearance panel. So I have this complicated appearance that I have on it, and I'm going to click this one that's right below it, the graphic styles. And the cool thing is I can take this, and if I just drag this and drop this in here, I now have that style right here, and I can click on that whenever I want. So for example, if I have this text up here, I click on this, it's going to edit to the one that I had there. I won't do that because I'll bring that one back. But that's pretty great. So you can go in and edit this however you want. You can change the colors, but that is just, that is just an intro to using the appearance panel to create some editable text and have some fun exploring some of the cool effects that you can do with this. So multiple fills, multiple strokes, those transform options to duplicate it. Explore, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.